Hi, my name is Lisolomzi Pikoli. I'm a visual artist, illustrator, and designer from South Africa. Welcome to my masterclass. This will be a short class for aspiring artists, young and old, who are interested in creating design, illustration, and digital artworks. This can be on your computer or handheld smartphone device. I work in varying mediums, including traditional painting, digital painting, illustration, design, muralism, and generally experiment in the creative fields. Through this, my work aims to interpret our modes of being as humans and the mechanics of the modern world. I get these ideas out by sketching intuitively, which then starts to reveal interesting compositions, which I then turn into artworks. Getting started. When creating a digital artwork, what you want to do is grab some utensils that you have easy access to. I'll start with a pen or pencil and paper to sketch on. You can start by sketching out your idea, whether it's a drawing or symbol you find really interesting and would like to turn into a logo or design. I find that the benefits of starting this way are that you can make mistakes and get what's on your mind into the real world, which allows the artist to express themselves freely. Beginning like this in many ways is more forgiving than going straight onto a canvas or your more modern digital art programs and tools on your computer or device. So a word of advice will be to try to take it easy on that budding artist by giving yourself a chance to make mistakes. Have fun with your sketches without judging them too harshly, as it's an exercise, and from this point you can truly start to define the forms you like best. There are apps available on your app stores to help you edit further on your smartphone devices, like Adobe Photoshop Express, which you can use to create a whole digital artwork if you really enjoy and prefer to create solely on your phones or tablets. Editing on your phone. Once you've chosen the artworks and designs you like best, take a snap of your artwork with your smartphone, which should have applications available to edit your work. Most phones have an application where you can utilize the brightening and contrasting effects on the user's device. Once you play around with the contrast settings, you can make more solid artworks before editing further. You want to have whites and black areas to further distinguish your artworks and have a clear finish before we upload to our computers or devices. This generally better defines the artist's line work. It's also great because if you want to add things like colors and opacity effects in your artwork in post, it makes separating layers easier in applications like Photoshop. I enjoy going between hand-done drawing and computer-generated rudimentary forms and shapes to create interesting design elements in my illustrations. Uploading online. From this point, you want to send yourself the image of your artwork via email, WeTransfer, or any other file sharing platforms available online. I prefer to use WeTransfer, though there are more personal file sharing apps like Dropbox, which are safe, free, and trusted uploading sites for small and large files. You then download the image to your Mac or PC to digitize your artwork. Workflow. When working, I choose to use industry-trusted and revered Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator to further refine my artwork by using the tools available on their program. For example, I would color and use the brushes and other presets whilst creating work on the program on a layer-by-layer workflow system to create my digital art. A hot tip to quickly learn shortcuts on Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator. If you hover over the tool icons usually found on the left-hand side on the screen's interface, options appear on a drop-down menu with shortcuts and tools. At first, this may seem intimidating to a novice user, but once you learn from the tutorial that appears when you start the program or YouTube, it becomes a lot easier to navigate what looks like a complicated interface. I would also advise asking an industry professional, student, and vocational or working designer to help you get used to the program. It's going to get complicated as you start to save on different formats. Another tip for good workflow is labeling your groups, layers, and saving your work as you go. This makes it easier to locate different layers and groups during your digital painting or designing. It's also just good practice to save your work as you go, as one should using any program on your computer. Publishing for online and print-related media. When you're satisfied with your artwork and you'd like to save, you'll be given a few different formats to save on. These formats are there to help you get the best quality from your artwork depending on what platform or outlet you'd like to see your artworks on. These will be screen-related platforms, online and print-related media. There are quite a few, but for practical purposes, when using Photoshop, you should always save a PSD file of your work. which stands for Photoshop document and is a source file for your artwork and is always editable at a later stage. Lastly, I'd recommend saving a JPEG at the highest quality available for print media, or PDF and PNG for online. PDFs are great for presenting multiple images or Word documents. We do the file saving format settings for us to get the best quality for our published media. I'd advise you do a little research on the differing multimedia formats and have a think about which kind of outlets you would like to publish your artwork on practically. For example, poster, digital art, brand identity, banners, GIFs, or animations. We need to think about how your artwork will relate to the digital media and print outlets. There are a few free popular online platforms such as Instagram, Behance, Facebook, YouTube, and more. You can publish your digital works on any of these. As you progress your career, you should consider setting up a website housing your works so your work is more accessible to the public and the people of interest. Here are a few examples of where I've chosen to publish. You're welcome to check them out at your own leisure, and I always like to get a bit of feedback, so feel free to get in touch. Thanks for joining this class, and it would be cool to see what you come up with if you wish to share. All the best and enjoy the process. Cheers.